It's Luke and Naomi.
Luke and Naomi, episode 87. How about that?
I can't believe it.
How about that? We are old,
We are old.
as she just said off air.
Yeah.
Right before we turned on. We old.
We old.
87. If you've been here through any number of them, thank you.
Yeah.
How about that? If you are new, welcome to Luke and Naomi on Air, featuring Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I am Luke Austin. That is Naomi Lynn.
Hi.
Hi.
Seem fitting.
We've got a super Under a Rock review this episode.
We do.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Peter Flockin' Flyin' Pan.
The Disney version.
The Disney we went with the Disney version because
It's the original.
I mean, that's the one you go with. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so many other iterations. I didn't want to go too modern. You got to see the OG, which was just wonderful.
I have to say, too, so earlier today at work, a couple people there know that we do the podcast and everything. They know about the Under the Rock reviews. And we were talking about Star Wars. And one guy was like, oh, Star Wars, I bet you haven't seen any of those. And I'm like, actually, Luke has made me watch all of them.
In chronological order, Star Wars fans.
I was asked that, too, by the way. And I said, yep, we did it in the correct order. Yep.
Well, I don't know. See, some Star Wars fans might not say chronological is correct.
I called it correct for doing it in that order.
Episode 1 through instead of time, like real-time chronological. So that's where you get confused, too.
Yeah,
So.
doesn't matter. Anyways, I did mention we did watch them in order. And then I mentioned, oh, but you know what we watched last night for our podcast today? Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
And the look of just shock on everybody's face. Like, are you kidding me? You haven't seen that one yet?
When we say Under a Rock review, so I can't wait to get to the review, even though we've got a bunch of other stuff first as usual, because there's so many questions I have. Did you know anything about Peter Pan?
Definitely not as much as I probably should have.
All right, we'll leave it right there.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to fill in some of those gaps later on. So that's coming up. Peter Pan, the Under a Rock review of Under a Rock reviews, I think.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. If you haven't yet, check out Sips and Snacks on our YouTube channel, Luke and Naomi on Air, just like everything else. The latest one, we did a home version because we made fish sticks.
Yeah.
So we did that at home, and really good. What was the wine? I forgot. Do you
Prosecco.
Hate to put you right on the spot. The Prosecco, right?
Yeah.
And then for the beer, it was actually a hard seltzer.
Yeah.
And that was...
Frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza from Fun Guys, correct? Yeah. So the whole thing with that was, if you watch the video, you'll see that it was supposed to taste like red Kool-Aid and all of that. It did. It smelled like red Kool-Aid, tasted like red Kool-Aid. Come to find out, it was the wrong color.
It was. And so here was the thing that was really interesting when putting the video together. Because we asked Ashley Rogers for, his advice, the beer and the wine that was going to go with fish sticks.
Yeah.
And he recorded this little bit for us. And in it, he says it's going to smell like, taste like, and look exactly like red Kool-Aid.
I forgot about the look that he actually said it's supposed to look like it.
And he said that, and then we poured it, and it was clear. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's mistaken. But apparently not.
So he watched the video and thought that, he was like, I don't know what you had, but that was incorrect. And I was like, no, it was actually the right thing. It just wasn't red. And he said that the brewery actually had said that they had a QC issue. And a couple of other ones got mislabeled as that. So we might have gotten like a mimosa flavor and all. But I was like, no, I swear to God, unless it got right in my head.
Red Kool-Aid, though. It didn't taste like a mimosa or anything else. It tasted and smelled like red Kool-Aid.
But you can check that out on the YouTube page that's Sips and Snacks Fish Sticks.
And if you go and get yourself a can of frozen pizza from Fun Guys, don't be alarmed when it's red like it's supposed to be.
Right, because it is supposed to be red. That's
Yes.
just crazy. So we did a beach trip this weekend.
Yes.
Average beach trip, nothing major happened except for the fact that it might be our last one for the
At
month.
least a week.
At least a week and a
Yeah.
half, something like that.
We got some stormy weather coming.
We do. You're the storm person. So what are we dealing with here?
So don't look at me as an expert here because we're new still to Wilmington. This is what our 3rd year here. So we haven't really dealt with any hurricanes or tropical storms or anything like that. And this isn't one that's coming like directly at us or anything. It's another one that's kind of coming up from Georgia, South Carolina to us.
Yeah.
So this has happened twice now. This will be the 3rd time, I think, since we've been here. And most of the time it's, some thunderstorms, some wind, some rain.
Excellent storms last time.
Yes. Very beautiful. And we spent the evening at Fermanagh, actually, having a couple drinks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect place to be. Surrounded by glass.
Well, it was packed, too, by the way. Apparently, that's what you go and do in North Carolina. Hey, a storm's coming.
Well, everybody
Let's
who
go
was
out.
there knows that particular time wasn't, anything to really worry about too much.
No.
Which is crazy.
So, again, a lot of stuff is still up in the air because it's going to be a couple of days. But it looks like we're going to get a lot of rain.
A lot of rain for sure. What was the last?
The last totals I heard from the National Weather Service was 12 to 16 inches of rain for us here in Wilmington.
That's just crazy.
Of rain. That's not talking about what's going to flood from all the water around us. That's just rain coming down from the sky.
Yeah, so,
12 to 16 inches of rain.
We're basically we're getting the podcast recorded before we lose any power because I feel like where we're at, just the thought of a storm makes the lights flicker a little bit.
I think so because the lights were flickering a lot today and it's only been like sprinkling on and off. Like it's not actually supposed to like storm and all that rain and stuff. I don't think it's supposed to move in until later tomorrow. And then it's tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday that is supposed to be a little wet.
Yeah, so that's the report or the forecast from August 5th when we record next, hopefully August, what's next Monday, 9 or something like that? No, 12? 12. That's it. I don't know math. Me no good with numbers.
5 plus 7 equals 12.
I didn't even think to start there. So when we get to the 12th,
now that could be part of the problem. Just
if we
saying.
have some power, we will give you the update, the review, the backstory, we'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah, because who knows?
The hindsight
I mean,
version.
if this storm just completely stalls out in Georgia or like the bottom of South Carolina, we could just get a couple of bands of rain.
Right.
This could, I mean, they're talking so many different things because it's supposed to cross over into the Atlantic and then go north up to South Carolina. So then there's talks about it, if it gets in the Atlantic, that warm water, is it going to re-strengthen it? There's just so many things that are so up in the air that we won't know until it's actually just happening. Oh,
Yay.
wow, it's raining harder than they
Wonderful.
said. Or, hey, it's not raining as much as they said. And that's it.
I can't believe I sold our kayaks. That's all I keep thinking.
Oh, we could have used those.
Dag nabbit.
Yeah, bad
Anyway,
decision.
So that's what we're dealing with right now. We got the water, we got the food, and all that stuff.
We should be fine.
Batteries and whatnot.
And we're not on the first floor, so
Also that.
I'm really happy about that. I don't want water coming in my door.
That's right. Hopefully everybody downstairs is nice and sealed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about
Sorry,
that?
guys.
So also we saw Deadpool and Wolverine over the weekend.
We did. It's
It's
been very eventful.
It is, yeah, it was. It is still fairly early in the run of that movie, so I am not going to be one to spoil anything. It was great.
It was.
As it was put to me by Filthy Kyle said, it's like the Royal Rumble, where you just get a new guy coming in every 30 seconds. So it very much was super nostalgic. If you're an X-Men fan, you're going to love it. If you're a Deadpool fan, you should love it. If you're a Wolverine fan, absolutely.
I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I knew I was going to like it already. I liked the Deadpool movies and all of that.
Never did X-Men, though.
No, but I really, really enjoyed the movie.
Naomi's under a rock from X-Men as well.
That's right.
So there's all that, which I just don't think I'm going to make you do under a rock reviews of the X-Men movies because it's
Are you
a lot.
scared?
Well,
Okay.
it's a lot. I don't know. Maybe one or two. There might be one or two you should see just for the actual, pop culture references and knowledge and things like that. Who knows?
Possibly.
But anyway, saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Really liked it. Here for it. Want to see it again. Liked it better than the second one, I think.
That's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Speaking of X-Men and going back to the 90s and what have you, last episode we talked about songs from the 90s, like that number one 90s song list.
Oh my gosh. As soon as we got done recording, I was like, oh, all those songs, I know we know them. And I'm looking them up. No, I didn't know them.
Absolutely
not.
not.
I was completely wrong. I was thinking of completely different songs. And I'm like, oh no, I know this one hit wonder. No, I don't.
There were 3 or 4 on the list. And if in case you didn't hear last episode, 86, there were 3 or 4 songs. It was a list of the top 15 90s songs of all time from Esquire.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know what the people at Esquire are all about, but it
They're on
certainly
drugs or
wasn't
something.
grunge music at all.
No, it was weird.
Really, really weird list. Anyway, and there was like a bunch of songs in the top 10 that were in the top 10 that we just didn't know.
We never heard before.
Looked them up afterwards and all of that. But
and I was so sure of like 3 of them. I'm like, I know we know these songs.
one of them I knew like the tune to as if it had been on a soundtrack or at a commercial or some junk like that, but no idea otherwise of the other songs.
So, by the way, that was a horrible list in the last episode. If you don't know what we're talking about, just listen to the last episode and hear that horrible list.
Exactly, yeah. And you'll agree. What a terrible list from Esquire.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of the 90s and whatnot, I saw from BuzzFeed a list of pop culture fun facts from the 90s.
Okay.
And I went through and was like, okay, I don't think I knew all of these. So I wanted to hit you with a few and see how many you knew. Did you know Tickle Me Elmo was almost called Tickle Me Taz, like Tasmanian Devil?
Oh, no, I didn't.
I feel like that would have been just as good.
My brother Tim loved Tasmanian
I was a
Devil.
big Taz fan,
Yeah.
Love it, cartoon and all that. Heck yes. So that would have been cool. I mean, they had... The company that made it didn't initially have the rights to use Elmo. But they eventually got him and then went with Elmo instead of Taz. I still think Taz would have been great.
Yeah, but it might not have become the big thing that it was.
Probably not. I mean, Elmo's freaking Elmo,
Yeah.
The Spice Girls didn't come up with their nicknames. It was actually a UK magazine editor because they were too lazy to remember the girls' real names.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like it takes more effort to come up with that one's scary, that one's baby, that one's sporty. What am I missing? Posh?
I feel like that's just wrong. Yeah, I didn't care enough to know your name, so I just nicknamed you.
But still, like, more effort because you had to, match the name to the character. I don't know.
Or maybe they, started to build that character off of that.
Maybe. Did you know the original Polly Pocket? Did you get down with Polly Pocket back in the day?
Yes, of course I did.
So did you know the original Polly Pockets were tiny because the creator used a makeup powder compact to make a portable dollhouse for his daughter?
Pretty cool. And I mean, that's what the size of them were.
Polly Pocket.
Yeah. I loved them. Those were my favorite.
Forrest Gump. I know you've seen Forrest Gump, so we can
Yes.
never do that for Under a Rock reviews. But this stuff I feel like just went around recently. Tom Hanks and the director Robert Zemeckis used their own money to shoot 2 scenes in Forrest Gump because Paramount refused to raise the budget.
Really?
So one of the scenes was of Forrest running across the country,
Okay.
back and forth and all of that stuff, which is one of like the more iconic scenes, at least from the 90s, if not in film.
Yeah.
And they had to pay for it themselves because, studio didn't know what it was going to be. Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time were a mistake. It was a Swedish songwriter who wrote the song
Okay.
and thought the word hit was slang for call me on the phone. But is it not? Hit me up.
Yeah.
Hit the digits.
Yeah.
Something
I don't know.
So,
I mean, it
whatever.
is now anyway.
Have
Maybe
you,
it wasn't during the song.
Have you heard any of these?
No.
Let me see here. James Cameron wanted to make Jurassic Park before Steven Spielberg beat him to it.
Okay.
So we would have had a darker and nastier Jurassic Park, like Aliens with dinosaurs.
I don't think I'd want to handle
I
that.
want to see that version.
No.
That'd be awesome. RuPaul was friends with Nirvana. Did you ever? They met at the VMAs. I remember pictures and video of Nirvana hanging out with RuPaul. Nobody knew what the hell to make of it. But it was just like they were just buds.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see here. George Lucas asked Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard, and Robert Zemeckis to direct Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and they all said no. probably because like, no way, man, I'm not gonna get shit on if you if this isn't any good. You do it
That
yourself.
makes sense right there.
But
yes.
he says they felt he needed to do it. There's some
Oh, okay.
90s pop culture facts that you
Yeah.
may have missed around the time. We just had this big road trip, and Ford has recently announced a thing that I wanted to throw out and see what you and everybody else thinks of this.
Okay.
This is great.
You
So-
say this is great, and I'm already going, I bet you it's not.
I've mellowed it as I've gotten older, and we've taken more and more road trips.
Yeah.
You know, we like taking road trips, so I stopped worrying about getting there as fast as possible and all of that.
Especially because our road trips are like 12 plus hours
Usually
long.
very long, you know. So
There's
like,
no point in let's see how fast we can get there because it's going to be a long time.
yeah, be quick, but don't hurry. So I mostly, you know, I'll set the cruise control to like 2-3 miles over the speed limit and, you know, hang out and all that stuff. No big deal.
Yeah.
Ford is working on patenting a thing that your car would snitch on you if you're speeding.
Really?
But hold on. It doesn't snitch on you.
Okay.
It rats out other people who go whizzing by you on the highway.
You know, no. No, that's not okay. Mind
Part
your
of
own
me
business.
likes that. You know, like the tattletale in me is like,
That's terrible,
yeah,
though.
get him.
No, because what happens at one time when you're just in a hurry? You're not going that far. And I get it. We should never be in a hurry when we're driving. But we all have that moment where it's just, shoot, I forgot I have to pick up this from the grocery store before I pick up the kid. So you're going 80 and you shouldn't be. And you're whizzing in and out of traffic and all of that. Should you be doing it?
No.
No. Should you have to worry about somebody else snitching on you? I mean, you're already worried about the cops seeing you speed and drive
They don't
like a jerk.
necessarily hide behind billboards anymore, but they, you know, they still do.
Yes. So that should be your only worry. Now you have to worry about somebody else's car snitching on you?
So Ford is working on patenting
What
this
are you doing, Ford?
for real. An equipped Ford vehicle could send a report with speed data and pictures directly to law enforcement and roadside monitoring
No.
units.
You know how pissed I would be if I got a letter in the mail and it's like
no.
a picture of the car, my car, because I was speeding
Oh
somewhere?
no. The cops get GPS data and go get you.
Oh my gosh. So even after you're done speeding, you already got to the grocery store, now you're heading back, you're like, okay, I'm good now. Cops find you there. Well,
No,
we caught you
not so much
speeding
that,
early.
but like highway patrol, you know, they're in traffic somewhere or sitting on in the median, you know, and then
Either
they
way.
get, oh, that guy, there he goes.
This is a very slippery slope.
It is.
Okay.
I started off kind of liking it, but as we get talking about it, I just don't.
No. You just no.
Yeah. So
Mind your own business.
as of last week, sometime, August 2nd, August 1st or 2nd, I believe, Ford is trying to secure the patent.
I hope they don't.
It's not installed in any vehicles. They don't actually have plans to put it in vehicles yet because they don't have the patent and all that stuff. But yeah, so
Terrible idea. Terrible. Slippery slope.
from slippery slope right to iRobot. Are you ready for this one?
Oh gosh. Is this like just fire me up today?
It is. It is. I'm sorry.
It's been a while, so let's get Naomi all fired
If
up.
you're new to Naomi, to Luke and Naomi, but specifically Naomi in this situation,
Yeah.
Not only does she live under a rock, has she lived under a rock, but she's terrified of AI.
Look, I'm not terrified of it. I just think we should be cautious.
We certainly should. Do you know how close we are to a humanoid servant robot?
I don't.
Do you know how
like
close we are?
that.
What about the dog? Like, what if we could have the dog carry shit around for us? Wouldn't that be great?
What if it just
Pack dog,
no,
you know?
no, I don't want something mechanical.
I would want a horse. No, I want a horse version.
I don't want that either. I don't
be
want
great.
anything that could kill me. You know?
Well,
What if? What if? What if? No, I don't want anything. It would have to be tiny, whatever it is, like a foot or less. And again, I have to be able to like take its batteries out or something. Like, I am not here for the robotic butlers and all of that stuff. I'm really not. I don't need that in my house.
Rosie from the Jetsons. That's all I can say.
No. She was nice, but she was still scary.
So this one is not a humanoid. That's not where we're going with this. I wanted to get you wound up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
So-
thank you.
So This is called Friend. And did you ever do like nano pets or the Tamagotchis or anything like that?
Yes, I have.
So I don't know if you've heard about this. It's a necklace that you wear, and the pendant is your AI companion. It's the company's called Friend or whatever. It's
I don't like this already.
They call it a Tamagotchi with a soul, right? That soul.
Now it's getting bad. I don't like this.
That soul is an always-on, can't turn off microphone.
Why?
Connected to AI.
Why?
That's always listening.
Why?
And comments on just shit you're doing throughout the day whenever it feels like it.
That's effing weird.
Now, it doesn't talk out loud yet, but you know it's gonna. Right now, it just texts you with stuff like, hey, how's that falafel you're eating? I don't know. It says falafel. I don't know why I said falafel.
Creepy. Why would you want that? Oh, yeah, somebody's always watching me. Let's train everybody to get used to being watched 24/7. Did you sleep good last night? Because it looked like it. Come on. You really want that around your neck?
Boy, you sure do snore a lot. Right?
You may want to go see a doctor.
and much, much worse, I'm sure. So, yeah, the ad
I'm not
for
here
it.
for this. This is terrible. Friend. Should be in like quotations. Your friend is watching you.
So it only responds via text, which just seems like it's a creepy stalker, right? I mean, except for you.
That lives around your neck.
Yeah, you opt in, basically,
Yeah.
to having a stalker. It's like, you ever remember when text like first came around and stuff, you text your friend because you see him in the store.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I see you, or some junk like that. This is much worse.
This is like 500 million times worse.
So
This is horrific.
The ad shows a woman eating and watching a show on her phone, and then a message pops up saying the show is completely underrated. Then it asks if her falafel is any good. That's where I got falafel from. It's in here.
Look, you need to be able to socialize with other human beings. You need to have those relationships.
Yeah.
You don't need a companion, as we're going to call this, around your neck doing that.
I mean,
That's weird.
I can see it as a something for maybe the elderly or something like that. But for emergency, like the I've fallen and I can't get up. What the hell was that?
The alert bracelet.
Yeah, the alert. So now like that. But now you can just Apple Watch or something like that. That'll tell you
Yes.
if you fell and call police. Like why do we?
We don't
already
need
have
this other stuff.
Siri and Alexa. So, it's $100. You got to pre-order it right now at friend.com. They won't ship until early 25, and it only works currently with iPhones. They say they'll expand to Android if there's enough demand. People are getting this.
That's so effing
A lot of people are making fun of
weird.
it.
Yes, please do so because it's weird.
A Stanford study did say that virtual friends could be helpful for people who live alone or just don't have a lot of friends to turn to for advice. But I don't go turn to AI for advice.
No.
That's just weird to me.
You need to have human relationships.
Yeah.
You need that. You
Oh
need
man,
that.
there's a
It's
whole
important.
Futurama episode about this, by the way,
Is that where he's dating the?
where he's dating the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have videos to warn you against that stuff.
Absolutely. So yeah, Friend is what it's called.
Friend.
Avi Schiffman. It doesn't matter, but the dude who won an award for creating the first COVID tracking website came up with this.
Okay.
Don't know why that matters, but that's in here too. Friend.com to pre-order yours for $100.
No. Absolutely not.
Let's
If somebody got me one of those, I would smash it with a hammer so
let's
effing
get it
fast.
and see what it thinks about Luke and Naomi on air. How about that?
I feel like it would be mean to
It would probably be like, when are you getting to the review?
That's right.
This is getting
You
annoying.
take too long.
Come on, man. Come on. All right, we will get to the review in just a second, but right now it is time for your recurrent dose of Did You Know? We could have stuck with the 90s facts
Coulda.
as your Did You Know for the week. But hey, what the hell? Here we go.
Okay.
Did you know Canada has almost 4 times more coastline than any other country in the world?
I believe I actually did hear that before.
You might know that growing up next door to Canada.
Yeah.
125,600 miles of coastline. Norway's the second with 36,000.
Okay.
That's quite the disparity. Did you know the first CGI character as a lead role was Casper from 1995?
Nice. Makes sense.
I started to think Roger Rabbit, but that was animated, not CGI. So there's that. Did you know Ernest Goes to Jail in The Green Mile were filmed at the same abandoned prison in Tennessee?
Interesting.
Hauntings aplenty.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I don't
sure.
know that other movie, so I know the Green Mile, but not the other one.
Ernest Goes to Jail. You don't know any Ernest.
No,
do you?
I don't. He goes to camp too, right?
If we're watching one, it's Goes to Camp.
Okay.
And then maybe Scared Stupid for Halloween.
Okay.
That one is so dumb, but it's funny as hell.
Is it really funny, or is it like, "Ugh, it's funny? Like
Yeah.
stupid funny?
Probably like that. The hate mail you're gonna get for dog
For saying that?
on
I haven't seen it yet.
Ernest P. Whirl. All right. Did you?
Starting shit over there.
You're a big House fan. Did you know
I am.
Hugh Laurie shot his audition tape for House in a bathroom in Namibia?
Okay.
That's where he was shooting Flight of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Did you ever see that movie?
I believe so. That's where the plane crashes, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they make a smaller one to get him out and from the bones and all. It was the only room with enough light that he could find. It was
Interesting.
a bathroom.
Okay.
So he shot his audition for House there. That's wonderful. And finally, did you know the reason karate belts go white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, red, black is because fighters used to only be able to afford one belt. So they had to dye it darker and darker as they went.
Really?
You couldn't go back. And that, according to this.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. That's your recurrent dose of Did You Know.
Those were some good ones.
Not bad, right? Not bad. I know you'd like the House one. Naomi
Of
loves her some
course.
House.
I love House.
All right, last week we asked you, what's the biggest thing you've won? Had some cool answers here.
I'm really excited for these. I love stories like this, especially because it's just so interesting. Where just one everyday person will be like, yeah, I won, a plane trip from a radio station or whatever. It's always such a good story.
Yeah, right. I like that too. So Brian from England says, winning Hazel's heart, his biggest prize ever.
Aw.
He goes, soppy, I know. It's like, yeah.
But so sweet.
So,
I love it.
I emailed him back, said, yeah, it is soppy. I look over here in the first comment on the page is from Bitch and Dan, and he says, your mommy.
Aw. So sweet.
That's what we're doing, huh, fellas?
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. Mr. Paul Moore says Luke and Naomi's ultimate listener back in Roswell.
That's right. He won the big prize, the grand prize.
The grand prize, he says his wife and he were able to update their engagement rings for their 6-year wedding anniversary,
Aw,
which was
that's
that
awesome.
year. Yeah.
That was a fun day. That was at that Area 52,
Yes,
that
we
laser
paintballed.
tag.
Laser tag, not
Yeah,
paintball.
laser tag. And there was a food truck there that had Chicago-style hot dogs.
That's right.
Oh, those were so good.
I killed Todd over and over and over and over again, just so many times.
Are you trying to start something right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Todd says, speaking of Todd, a free beer after eating 9 raw jalapenos.
I like it.
That's the biggest prize he's ever won. That was Cinco de Mayo 92 for him.
Nice. I like it.
Juan says all the prizes he won from our show were the best ones.
Aw, he did win quite a few.
He did.
I can't remember, though. Ralph, you should have been more descriptive because I have forgotten.
Juan, yes.
Yes. What did I say?
Ralph, because Ralph's is the next comment.
Ah, okay.
Ralph's
Well, I figured Juan and Ralph, between the two of them, have won quite a bit when we were on the Country Giants.
a lot of listeners of the day as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to save Ralph's because that's a big one.
Okay.
Dorsey says, well, he did get a T-shirt from some awesome morning show hosts once. I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose.
No?
Just once? You only got one? That's all you ever won from us, Dorsey, was a T-shirt? He got listener of the day a few times, I know.
Yes, absolutely.
He always came with some crazy answers. Snowman says he won Super Bowl tickets for Super Bowl 30.
That's cool.
Great Super Bowl to go to. Dallas beats Pittsburgh.
I want to know the details, like how you won those tickets.
His aunt called to a radio station and won the prize, but put his name down for the ticket drawing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just calling a radio station to win a prize like that?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they were doing a bit of a raffle or some sort of sweepstakes or something, but cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Mark D says he won a moped when he was like 10 or 11 years old. Oh my God. That would have been the greatest
That's
thing ever.
awesome.
Yes. This
I
is
love it.
Well before the moonshine. He said his mom used it to chase him and his friends around the neighborhood.
Putting it to good use. That's fine.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. I love it. Todd says to Dorsey he didn't even win a T-shirt.
Aw.
It's okay. Those T-shirts were terrible.
We'll get you better ones.
They were super. We got to make some Luke and Naomi T-shirts.
Yeah, that would be
We
kind
need
of
to do
cool.
that. Let's do that. Somebody.
We'll give them to people who have stuck around for our obnoxiousness.
That's right. Somebody send us some money to do that.
Yeah.
How about that? What else we got here?
What is it? Crowdfunding? Is that what we do?
Yes. Yeah. Crowdfunding. Yeah, I believe
For
this
ugly T-shirts.
the last one that I kept here for our top ones for the week. Ralph says a 2023 Can-Am 4-seater.
What?
He won it in a raffle.
No.
Yeah.
That's intense.
That's ridiculous. Of course you did, Ralph. Of course you did.
Ralph
That's
wins a
insane.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's insane. What else did he say? Oh, he answered last week's question, which was song that you could do without.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that too. And he says, anytime a buddy says, listen to this song right quick, and the 3 to 5 minutes are endless. And he says it's a callback to a question we actually asked while we were on the air in New Mexico.
Really? I don't remember that. You can't do that stuff.
Ralph, the historian.
I'd have to go through so much audio.
Lots of audio.
Too much audio.
I wonder if we could find, oh man.
There's no way.
I need a date. If I had maybe a month, like the month we did it, I could narrow it down.
Ralph,
I think.
give us
it would
a
take me a
hint.
minute, but
Give
anyway,
us a hint.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So for next week, if you want to get in on the fun, head on over to our Facebook page. You can leave your answers on the YouTube right in the comment section under this episode. And also, if you're listening on Spotify now, you can drop a comment just right there on the episode.
Which is cool.
Yeah, feel free to check that out. And so next week we are talking food.
I love when we talk food.
I know you do. So do I. I'm not going to lie. Everybody likes food.
Yeah.
I'm not a big leftovers person.
Not a big leftovers. You're an anti-leftover person.
There are a few things that I'll get down with, but
Yeah, bull.
ultimately, I'm just not. I can't. The microwave, I think, has ruined a lot of leftovers. for me or
Leftovers
whatever.
are like the best. You get extra of the thing you've already eaten. It's the best.
It's not the same. So
It's not the same.
we
But
wanna
that's
know-
what makes it special.
what the best leftover food is. What is the best leftover? Is it pizza?
I could have a laundry list for this.
What do you throwing out? What are you nominating? What do you think?
Whatever we didn't finish for dinner, leftover lasagna is
Anything?
phenomenal.
Just all the leftovers is your answer.
Yes, I love leftovers.
Then maybe what's the worst?
The worst leftover,
Fast food French fries, of course.
yeah, or plain mashed potatoes.
I mean, you can still put gravy or something on them, no?
Meh, that's just whatever. I'll eat everything else. I mean, I'll still eat the plain mashed potatoes. I'm not letting leftovers go to waste.
Insane.
And you're over there going, I don't want to eat it because I can
Because
make
once I
something
put it
new.
in the microwave, it's going to be rubbery and gross.
That'll be fine. It'll be fine. Add extra
or-
hot sauce on it, or like you said, gravy on like the potatoes
Well.
or something. Throw a whole bunch of seasoning on there. You're set. It's
Now,
fine.
I do eat like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Those leftovers,
That's like
of
the
course.
only leftover you eat.
Those are the leftovers.
Yeah, they are definitely the best.
That's the way you got to go. So,
Yeah.
what is the best leftover food? Is it
dinner.
just anything? Because like cereal is not.
Well, no. I mean,
You
don't
can't eat cereal leftover.
You don't have leftover cereal. You pour yourself the bowl that you're gonna eat, and then you eat it.
Well, I
There's
mean,
no
you know.
leftovers.
Sometimes. Anyway, what is the best?
I've given up on this bowl of cereal.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the fridge for later. Doesn't even make sense.
I hope you put it in the fridge. what is the best leftover food? Let us know. Facebook or wherever you're listening. You should be able to drop a comment in 2024.
Should be able to.
We will read our favorite answers next week. The best leftover food. Now, one we can all agree on too. I think that's how we're going to rank the best. Not just like, oh, that's a good one, but like, oh yeah. So something's got to be better than pizza, right?
I don't know. Pizza is really high up there because it doesn't matter if you eat it cold, you heat it up in the microwave, you heat it back up in the oven. Like, it doesn't matter what you do with pizza. You can
It's
eat
versatile.
it left over. Yeah. So I think that has a lot going for it. I like leftover Taco Bell, which is probably one of the
Yeah, you
worst
do.
like leftover foods that you can have.
And I've eaten that.
And I love it.
It's not French fries, I'll tell you what.
No. I mean, you can't do that. Out of all the leftover food that I will eat, no leftover French fries.
No
It
leftover
just
French
doesn't
fries.
work.
Fried chicken.
Yeah.
I'll eat the hell out of some leftover fried chicken.
Okay. That's like 3 items. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
really come out of
Turkey,
your shell
fried chicken,
from your leftover hatred before.
pizza. I have a little bit.
Yeah.
There are some things I still am not going to touch. All for you.
Which works out great for me, and I don't mind. It means I get to eat those
What's your
leftovers.
favorite leftover? She says dinner.
Whatever we made the night before that we have leftovers. It's my favorite.
All right. Let us know. You know where. Luke and Naomi on air. We come up. You'll
We
find
come
it.
up.
You'll find a place to comment, and we'll get it, hopefully. That's going to do it for all of that stuff. Are you ready for the good stuff, for the fun stuff?
Here
for
we
the
go.
extra, for the reason that we are here?
Yeah.
It is time for Naomi Lynn's Under a Rock review of freaking Peter Pan, of all things.
Disney's Peter Pan.
Disney's Peter Pan from 1953.
Is it the 53? Okay, at one point I asked, but I assumed it was the 20s or the 30s.
With all the racism.
Yeah, there was a touch of that.
The Indian scene I have not seen in years and years and years, and I was like, holy shit. This.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a...
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you at the end all the questions that I want to ask you, but like, did you know that Peter Pan could fly?
I think so. Yeah, because I knew he would, he picked up the kids and took them to Neverland.
Okay.
I knew they flew there.
Did you know how?
No.
Okay. Did you know the name of the pirate?
I'm not going to say I knew, but
But
I would
when you
say I
heard it,
was
you was like,
pretty
oh,
sure.
okay.
Yes.
All right. The crocodile? Did you know anything about the crocodile?
No. All I knew was a joke from The Office, so I knew the crocodile had eaten his hand.
From The Office. I love it.
Yeah, because he calls it an alligator, and then he's corrected. It wasn't an alligator, it was a crocodile. So I knew that was coming.
Fantastic. All right. I'll let, without further ado, take it away. Naomi Lynn's Under a Rock review of Peter Pan.
All right. So it starts with us meeting the Darling family. How cute of a name,
Right.
by the way.
Yep.
In London. There's John and Michael, and there's the mom and the dad. And then there's Wendy, the oldest daughter. The boys are playing Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Before bed, they're sword fighting and everything. While Wendy and Nana, the dog, are
Yes.
getting things ready for bed. Nana is an amazing dog, makes the bed, stacking blocks up, pouring medicine or tonic, whatever they had for the kids.
On the spoon, too, right?
Yeah, did a great job.
All-time great cartoon or fictional dog that nobody remembers.
Yeah, I wish I had a dog like that.
Right.
Anyway, we got George, the father. He's angry because he can't find his cufflinks. He's going into the children's room where they're playing, they're sword fighting, the whole Peter Pan game. One of the kids had hid the cufflinks as the buried treasure, but couldn't remember where.
Nope.
Of course, George is upset, blames Wendy for filling the younger kids' heads with all these stories. He tells her it's her last night in the nursery, and after tonight, she's getting her own room. He also kicks the dog outside for the night, which was kind of sad.
Kind of sad. So, fun fact, when Peter Pan is done in a play everywhere, oftentimes it goes back to when it was first done as a play. Mm-hmm. The father, whoever plays him, also plays Captain Hook.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Neat, right?
Yeah. As Wendy is falling asleep, she tells her mom not to lock the window. She says Peter Pan might come back because she has something that belongs to him, his shadow, which I thought was weird, but okay. Mm-hmm. The mother shuts off the light, and she and George head to a party. As they leave,
Lock the kids in their room and leave the house.
Yeah, why not?
Love it.
They're going to sleep. They'll be fine. As they leave, Peter Pan makes his way from the roof of the house into the bedroom where Wendy, John, and Michael are sleeping. Him and Tinkerbell look around the room to find his shadow. Tinkerbell finds it, but then they are stuck chasing it around the room and all that. They end up knocking over quite a few things. Wendy obviously wakes up because of all the noise, and she's all excited because, hey, it's Peter Pan.
Yeah.
You know, he did come back for his shadow. And then she sees him trying to use soap to attach his shadow back to him. Tells
I don't
him,
get that one.
Don't
Is
understand.
it
but
just because he's dumb? Because he doesn't have a mom and is a child who never grew up, I think?
Sure.
But
That's
it was
why
a bar.
he decided
I couldn't
this.
tell right away what it was, but I thought it was a bar of soap, too.
I wasn't sure until she said it.
Did she? Okay.
She does
okay.
say it. That,
That's great.
soap won't work. I have to sew that on for you. And she begins to help him while chatting away, and Peter Pan says, girls talk too much. Nice. Nice
Oh,
going,
yeah.
Peter Pan. You're kind of a jerk.
Way to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sews a shadow on for him and tells him that she has to grow up, so no more stories. He's like, come to Neverland with me, and you won't ever have to grow up. So she's happy. She offers him a kiss, but he doesn't know what that is. So she goes to show him what a kiss is. Tinkerbell flies right between them, pulls Wendy by the hair to get her a little bit away from Peter Pan.
Yep.
Didn't know Tinkerbell was jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, all the ruckus has waken up the boys, so it looks like they're all going to Neverland. They learn to fly by thinking of the happiest thing, and with a little bit of pixie dust, of course, thanks to Tinkerbell, and out the window they go.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts. In Neverland, Neverland.
You've lived in the South too long.
In Neverland, we meet the pirates, Captain Hook and his crew. Hook is trying to find where Peter Pan has been hiding, and he's been searching for his hideout with no luck. We learn that Peter Pan was the one to cut off Captain Hook's hand and throw it to the crocodile, and apparently the crocodile still follows Captain Hook around. But you can always hear him coming because he swallowed an alarm clock. You know, all of that seems to make sense, sure.
Did you know that? The tick, tick, tick and all?
No, but I did enjoy that throughout the movie when I'd hear the tick.
Of course
Tick,
you did.
tack,
Of course you
tick,
did.
tack,
Wonderful.
Tick, tack. Like, that really was hypnotic. You know,
All
I
right.
enjoyed that more than I probably should have. Anyway, Peter Pan and Wendy and John and Michael all make it to Neverland. One of the crew members on the pirate ship spot them, so they start shooting cannons at them.
Yeah, because that's what you do.
Cannonballs.
I'm telling you, pre-1989, people tried to murder children in movies.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Peter Pan advises Tinkerbell to take the children to the hideout while he distracts Captain Hook. Tinkerbell takes off and is going too fast that the kids can't keep up. Wendy even asks Tinkerbell to slow down, and then she starts going faster.
Oh, yeah.
She's kind of a brat. I don't understand why people love her so much. This whole fandom of
She's
Disney.
got the fairy dust, man. She makes us fly. That's why.
But she's a brat.
Yeah.
She's mean. Who cares that she's a fairy pixie or whatever? She's mean.
She's a fairy.
Oh, I want to be like Tinkerbell. Because you want to be a jerk? Okay.
Maybe.
You don't need pixie dust to do that.
I love it. The title of episode 87, Naomi hates Tinkerbell.
I do. I really do. I don't like Tinkerbell. I
enjoying
don't
this.
understand.
This is great.
Like, she even tells the kids that are like dressed up like animals when
The
they get
Lost
to the
Boys.
hideout. What is it?
The Lost Boys.
Okay, so those are the Lost Boys. Okay. She even tells them to shoot Wendy down as she's flying. Like, that's not okay.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
Welcome in.
She said it was Peter Pan's orders. Because the kids later are like, well, Tinkerbell told us. She said Peter Pan said for us to shoot Wendy down because she's like a crazy bird or whatever.
That's right. Yep. The crazy bird.
Yeah. Again, don't understand why everyone likes Tinkerbell. She's not a good person. She's not a good fairy or whatever.
Yeah, because she's not a
Pixie.
person. So
She's
yeah.
not a good pixie. So the kids do, but Peter Pan is able to fly over, catch Wendy before she dies. I don't know. She was like going towards rocks.
Before she dies? You can't die in Neverland.
I don't know. Tinkerbell is just not a good character. That's what my next notes say.
That's awesome.
Peter Pan calls her out, and she doesn't seem to care. So he banishes her, and she just flies off. Absolutely crazy. Anyway.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, Peter Pan is going to show Wendy the island and the Mermaid Cove and all that, but the boys aren't interested in that, so they split up. The boys, along with the children dressed up like animals, the Lost Boys, they're going to fight the Indians. So that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, it's just a game.
Yeah.
If they get caught by the Indians let them loose. If the Indians get caught, they let the Indians loose. You know, they just kind of go back and forth. But apparently not this time. Now, because the chief's daughter is missing, he's not going to let them go. Yeah. And if his daughter isn't returned by sunset, he's going to burn the kids at the stake.
That's right.
Okay.
Again, adults trying to, murder children.
Yeah.
Or at least threatening in this case.
Meanwhile, Peter Pan takes Wendy to meet the mermaids, and she's so excited. But the mermaids are all, like, jealous, and they try to drown her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at one point, they even say, we were just going to drown her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. This movie
Nobody
has...
likes Wendy, man.
This movie has weird views about women, I feel.
1953, so...
That's why I was wondering, because at one point, again, I guessed it was the 30s, so it's
I
pretty
don't
close.
know, how much of it is word for word from J.M. Barrie's original story, but
I'm
anyway,
a little scared,
1953, there you go.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, they try to drown her. Lots of cattiness from the girls in this movie. Anyway, it starts getting dark, and sure enough, it's Captain Hook coming by in a small rowboat. And apparently it's Captain Hook that actually has Tiger Lily, the Indian chief's daughter. Wendy and Peter Pan follow them, and Peter Pan plays a trick on both of them. First, he makes it sound like he's a great spirit, and his voice echoes through this cave.
That's great.
But when Captain Hook goes to investigate the noise, Peter Pan sneaks back in and imitates the captain and tells his right-hand man, Mr. Smee,
It's me.
to let Tiger Lily go. The jig is up, though. Captain Hook stops Mr. Smee and then realizes it's Peter Pan. He then flies around making a mockery of both pirates. As Captain Hook tries to kill him, he always gets away. Mr. Smee tries to shoot him and ends up shooting at Captain Hook. It's a whole thing.
There's some excellent comedy in the cartoonishness of all of this. I was dying. I loved it. I haven't seen it in so long.
But Peter Pan beats him by getting him to walk off the edge of a cliff because, Peter Pan can fly. So he didn't even notice what was happening. He falls into the water, and that crocodile that's been trying to catch up with him has some fun, and he gets almost eaten like 8 different times.
Yeah.
So Wendy reminds Peter Pan about Tiger Lily because apparently he forgot. They're just going to let her drown because she's like tied up to where the tide is coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's go take care of her. You think? Okay. So he flies down, saves her, and flies off. Captain Hook gets word that Peter Pan has banished Tinkerbell. So he had Mr. Smee go catch her and bring her back to the ship. They're going to use her jealousy to find Peter Pan, and it's already working.
Working.
Really?
It didn't take any time at all.
This.
I mean, it was only an hour and 20-minute movie, so they
had to work through it fast.
Now, in Naomi's defense, everybody, we have been still watching the hell out of Game of Thrones. So, I mean, I don't know if you're expecting that to be drawn out a little bit, more tense of a situation.
No, I just didn't think.
Yeah, she flipped real quick.
I thought this was going to be Tinkerbell's
redemption.
Redeeming moment right here. No, not even close.
Oh no, it gets worse.
Yeah, they blame Wendy for everything, and Tinkerbell is already opening up like, yeah, it's Wendy's fault. How could Tinkerbell be that stupid? For real. Also, how old is this movie? I feel like it had to be written in the 20s or 30s or something.
All of it.
Yeah.
1898 and 1953.
I do know that I already mentioned that twice, but I'm just reading word for word where my notes were in that segment there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tinkerbell ends up telling Captain Hook where Peter Pan's hideout is. Then he locks her in a lantern because what did you think was going to happen? Dumbass. Meanwhile, back at Peter Pan's hideout, all the kids are being rambunctious and Wendy is not having it. She's trying to get them to calm down so that they can get some sleep and go home tomorrow. But Peter Pan is like, why would you want to do that? Stay here. Wendy starts singing about mothers, so now everyone wants to go home, and Peter Pan is like, fine, go, but once you grow up, you can't come back here. As the kids are leaving, Captain Hook and his gang are waiting for them, take them hostage on his ship. So Tinkerbell sees the children on the ship and hears Captain Hook's evil plan to blow up Peter Pan. Yeah, blow up. He's got a bomb and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So she knocks over the lantern that she was stuck in and is able to fly away. Captain Hook gives the children the option to become pirates or walk the plank.
I love it. The pen or the plank.
Yeah. Great scene there.
I'd be a pirate all day.
But they chose to walk the plank. Wendy is first, but when she walks over the edge, there's no splash. That's because Tinkerbell got to Peter Pan and was able to, he was there, so he was able to catch Wendy. Now we have our epic battle between Peter Pan and Captain Hook, while the children fight off the other pirates. Captain Hook and Peter Pan battle it out, and Peter Pan agrees not to fly, so he's going to fight fair.
That's right.
And he still wins.
Of course he does. He's Peter Pan.
Yeah. Captain Hook ends up in the water being chased by the crocodile that ate his hand, and the crocodile chases him around for I don't know, a good 15 minutes of the movie right there. No, I'm just kidding. It was probably 7 minutes.
You get a lot of Hook and the Crocodile.
Yeah,
you really
and,
do.
Like, he gets swallowed by the crocodile 8 different times in this movie, but he always somehow
amazing.
gets out of the crocodile's mouth and then back in it.
Excellent
Yeah.
animation and just all of it.
So anyways, we got the crocodile chasing him around. The other pirates get away on the little rowboat, and Tinkerbell uses her pixie dust magic to turn the whole pirate ship into a flying boat, and they head back to London. So the parents come home to find Wendy asleep by the window and the other kids in their beds. Out the window, though, you can see the clouds in the shape of the pirate ship, and the parents know it was Peter Pan.
That's right.
The end.
The father's like, I remember that ship.
Yep. Yeah.
I've
Which I thought
seen that
was
before.
a cool way to wrap up everything.
Pretty neat, right?
You know, like, oh, okay, the parents know. Kind of cool.
Yeah. So that is Peter Pan for the first time.
For the first time.
And as usual, after an Under a Rock review, we have a list of questions we asked Naomi. So, did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right.
The idea of Peter Pan is wonderful. There are some more modern takes that do a little bit different stuff,
Okay.
but the best other Peter Pan you're going to get is Hook, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
What did you know about Peter Pan going in?
Well, like what we talked about earlier, that he could fly.
Yep.
I believe I knew the girl's name was Wendy.
Okay.
I knew about Tinkerbell from everything I've seen with her logo on stuff with Disney. I didn't know she was a brat.
Hey, Disney, did you guys know?
Like how terrible
When's the
she
last time
is.
you watched that movie? 'Cause
She's
damn,
like borderline villain. But hey, let's put her everywhere.
for real.
You know, you could have done that with Scar for The Lion King.
Well, you know,
I guess they kind of do. Okay.
yeah, a little bit.
Makes sense.
What were your thoughts going into watching Peter Pan?
I just thought cute kids movie, you know, cute Disney kids movie. Should be fun, easy watch.
Did you like all the singing?
I expected singing. It's a Disney
It's
movie.
a Disney movie and it's animated, right?
And it was very old school singing.
Old
but
school singing.
I was okay with it, honestly.
All right.
The song about mothers was stupid, but that's okay.
Take that, Mom.
hey, I don't mean it that way. I love my mom. I love the moms out there. There's nothing wrong with that. It just, I didn't like the one voice singing very high a cappella about moms. It was
a
too
lot.
much for me.
It was
Yeah.
a lot. It is a lot, that part. Would you have liked this more or less if you saw it when you were younger?
Oh, I would have loved it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped one. What surprised you?
Besides the fact of Tinkerbell being a jerk, really did not see that coming. I don't know.
Episode
And like,
87. Naomi hates Tinkerbell.
I mean, Peter Pan wasn't very nice either. He was just very blunt. Like, girls talk too much, and you know, oh, I forgot that I was leaving this person to drown, and you know, I don't know. He forgets Wendy at one point because he's messing around with the mermaids, and I don't know. I didn't really care for him either.
He's laughing at her when they're trying to drown her.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
amazing.
supposed to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, you brought her here?
For
It means
real.
you're kind of her chaperone.
So, basically, he's just a guy.
And then, he gets mad when she's like, we're going to go home tomorrow. Well, fine. Go ahead and go. But once you grow up, you can't come back here. Like, it's just kind of bratty behavior.
Well, he's a
I'm
child.
not here for that.
He's a child with no parents
Yeah.
who gets his way.
Jerk.
So, there you go. What was your favorite part?
Anything with the crocodile. I really liked tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
Interesting.
I did like the crocodile.
All right. I think we know the answer to your least favorite part, but you want to make it official.
Yes, but I'm gonna say like the bomb going off in. I kind of skipped over that in the review and all of that stuff, but Captain Hook had a bomb and
Yeah.
it went off in Peter Pan's hideout.
Right.
And like destroyed everything.
Yep.
Like, this is a children's movie and you had a bomb go off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little intense.
A little bit.
So probably my least favorite part there. And again, anything with Tinkerbell.
Anything. Take it down.
Honestly, the scene with Tinkerbell when, besides her, just backstabbing Peter Pan and showing Captain Hook where the hideout is. But like when Wendy's like, oh, please slow down. And she's so nice about it too. Please slow down. I can't keep up. And Peter Pan or Wendy or Tinkerbell like looks at her and then goes faster. Like that is such a brat move.
It is.
That's probably the worst scene in the whole movie. That scene right there.
That's your least favorite part?
Yeah.
All right. Would you recommend Peter Pan off of that to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you don't know anything about Tinkerbell.
That's great. That's an excellent answer.
But think about it. Seriously. And I know I have, basically bitched and complained and just ripped Tinkerbell to pieces here. But we know that. Think about when you go to, like, Walmart or something, and it's back to school season, and you see the backpacks, and they have different characters, and Tinkerbell's all over this stuff. And, there's always so many things. You see it on Facebook, where it's cute little quotes, and there's Tinkerbell there, and it's all this sweet stuff. She didn't do anything sweet in that movie.
So your first experience with Tinkerbell is the letdown.
Yeah, because I thought she was this cute little pixie helper.
Right.
Not a brat.
Excellent.
I would even be okay with a little bit of attitude, maybe the pixie fairy attitude type deal. I don't know. But she's not a good person. She's not a good character.
Yeah, good character. Wow. Would you watch Peter Pan again?
I don't think I need to see it again.
Let's say this. Would you watch more Peter Pan? Not necessarily that again.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would check out a different version.
All right. Would you stop and watch this one if it's on television?
No, I don't need to see this again.
Are you happy you watched it?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I think we have to watch Hook next week.
That's with Robin Williams, isn't it?
Correct.
So I'm definitely here for that. Is there a Tinkerbell in it?
Yes.
Is it a nicer Tinkerbell?
We have to watch Hook.
Okay.
I will tell you that
Tinkerbell
is played by Julia Roberts.
Weird.
In Hook.
Huh.
So
okay.
I think it, just as long as nothing crazy comes up, I think maybe we do that. The whole reason I wanted you to watch Peter Pan in the first place is
was
so
to watch that.
You can see
think
Hook.
I'd be okay with that.
So that might just possibly be for the first time ever settled before we even finish the episode of what we're going to watch next week. But I definitely
like that plan.
I think while this one is fresh, then you see Hook immediately because it'll make a lot of sense.
Okay. I don't mean to, keep going on about Tinkerbell. I really don't. I think you're right. It was the letdown. I thought she was supposed to be, like, cute and sweet.
Well, okay. This is why we do this, okay? Again, like you said, you have been shown that Tinkerbell is this wonderful character and all of this stuff. And then the movie that she's from, she's an absolute dink.
That's the best way to put it. Yes.
So, I get it.
Tink the dink.
Tink the dink. Yes. So I absolutely get your, the
I'm frustrated,
you're
to be
flabbergasted
honest.
is what it seems like.
Yes.
Just absolutely blown away.
And I can't let it go.
And I love this. We watched this movie last night. I had no idea that's what Naomi was thinking at all. That's, again,
No?
we
All
don't
right.
talk
All right.
until we record the episode. So I had no clue that you were that pissed at Tinkerbell.
I was.
That's just wonderful. All right. Anything else, Peter Pan, that
No,
you missed? Anything you want to add?
I think I've spoken my piece.
Yeah, I think you have too. Wonderful, wonderful review.
Man.
That was just a lot of fun. I mean, that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time that you just tore somebody up like that.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
and,
I've been nice.
That's what you get.
That was needed.
With Naomi Lynn's Under a Rock reviews. It's that, that perspective. I grew up with this, the first time I saw it. I never thought twice about anything. Watching it with you, it's like, yeah, she's not great.
No, she's not.
That's fantastic. Oh, man. All right.
Probably different, too, if you're a kid, seeing it through kids' eyes. You're not going to notice her as being mean. She's just
A brat.
Yeah, but she's just doing her own thing.
Yeah,
like,
she's
you
just
probably don't
a
even
friend
notice.
Who's pissed at you for, getting a new friend also.
Maybe.
Crazy.
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know. All right.
That is Naomi Lynn's review, Under a Rock review of Peter Pan.
That's right. All right, it's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day. This is terrible. Thought of the day.
That's right. You got to get the hands going so you can get more
I gotta
into
do the
it.
hands. I got to use the hands to get the diaphragm working or something.
That's right. That sounds
Thought of the
about
day.
right. Yeah, it does make a difference. I don't know if it was a good difference, but it did make a difference. All right,
Apologies.
are you ready?
Come back for episode 88, please.
All right. If you keep wearing the same style of clothes all the time, you will actually become quite a trendy person every about 20-ish years or so.
20-ish years.
Think about it.
For sure. I could break out some 90s clothes right now.
You'd be fine. You absolutely would be.
I honestly don't believe I have any old stuff like that, so.
That's all right. You can buy it new now. All right, Luke, you going to leave us with a laugh?
I am going to do my best. Let's see if I can find what I got here.
All right. What do you got?
My new alarm clock shouts insults instead of buzzing or playing music. I'm in for a rude awakening.
That was so
No?
dull.
All right.
No.
I said to my wife, when I die, I'd like to die having sex. She replied, at least it'll be quick.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I've decided on a new career. I'm going to be a backwards stripper. I'll come out on stage naked, and people will pay me to put my clothes back on.
Could have a career there.
Actually make money off that one.
Yep.
I'm sorry that I haven't matured past the point of making everything into a sexual innuendo. It's just really hard.
That was so bad. So bad. Are you done over there?
I'm done. That's the
Good.
last one.
So much
All
for
right.
leaving us with a laugh.
I'm laughing. That was episode 87. Thanks so much. Naomi hates Tinkerbell. That's the title officially. I cannot wait for everybody to see the title and then hear you just absolutely destroy Tinkerbell. That's going to be
She deserved it, and you know it.
the messages we get from this one are going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. All right,
Tracy and Mark, I'm already calling you out right now.
Snowman and
Oh,
Tori. We have a
yep.
couple of Disney adults
Sorry, guys.
that listen.
I
so-
said what I said, and I stand by what I said.
Hey, go back and watch it and tell me she's not a dink.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my goodness. All right. What's the best leftover food? Facebook. Leave it below the YouTube episode, on Spotify, wherever. Find us everywhere. Tell your friends. Subscribe on YouTube, please. And don't forget to check out Sips and Snacks. We'll talk next week for episode 88. Until then, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Unless you're Tinkerbell.